Whew. I almost wasn't going to post this. Feeling kind of vulnerable. I feel like my situation is really causing a little bit of stress with the no water running. But I think mostly it's more of not knowing and feeling like I'm at a disadvantage and not wanting to bother anybody. My neighbors are amazing. And I really feel like they would assist without hesitation. But I don't want to be a bother. Um, I also took off today because I feel like my spirit is stirring again. And part of me took off because I just needed a break. And in this traditional job, you always got to worry about if I take off, what's going to happen? And will I get fired? And my spirit is saying, I don't give a fuck. And I apologize if my rawness offends anyone. I don't mean it, but this is my channel. So another reason why I came on is because my channel is about trusting your process. And if you don't see, and if I can't show that process, the ups and the downs, then I feel like I'm a hypocrite. But I also feel like there is a stirring in me that to trust the process and to know that I'm always going to be okay. But that shit is hard. It's hard when you can't see where this is coming from. One of my subscribers asked me on my channel in the notes, I just saw it today, well, yesterday. I didn't realize that she replied to my reply, and she said, she asked me what my word is for 2024. And I had to think about that. At first I was like, man, that's a good question. I feel like I'm out of breath. Like, I feel like my voice is trembling, but it's only because I came from outside and I'm out of breath. So I realized that my word for 2024 is surrender. Surrender to the knowing that I am great. Now that is choking me up because I feel like I'm not grieving, but what's the word am I looking for? When you see a baby that's struggling, or a little kid, or like when I think of my grandbabies and I think of how precious like Atlas is, and he is trying to figure it out, and his spirit is so forceful, and I just want to just hug him and just, you got this, baby, you got this. That's the type of feeling that I'm having about myself. And that is what chokes me up. Because that is beautiful, right? And some would say, some would say that's God. And if that's your word, that's your word. But if that's your word, that's your word. And to me, it's source, something definitely great that I am connected to. Not just, I hate the word greater than me because it separates me from it, and I don't believe there is a separation. But like I said, that makes me weep because it is such a good feeling to experience, but at the same time it's complicated because I'm like, but I don't see you. But then again, the thought comes to me, especially in my scripting. And you know what? Let me read this to you. And I'm hoping this video is not a long video, but it is what it is. So the other day, well, not yesterday, day before yesterday. I was feeling anxious. I'm scared. I scripted, and let me see if I can flip you around. This is what scripting looks like in my book. So scripting is just my composition book. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. It is your journal, whatever it looks like to you, right? Whatever it looks like to you is right for you. So one of the things that I was saying, I said, you know what? I kept getting urges to go to the scripting. And so I just said, fine, okay, here we go. I'm feeling anxious and scared. What should I do? Immediately, and it's such a subtle shift that it makes you go, is this me? But you know this is something more. Not more than me, but more, if that makes sense. So I said, feeling anxious and scared, what should I do? This is what came out. Allow the feelings to flow. Don't give them too much weight. Trust that you are safe, okay, never alone. Ask yourself, what value does these repeated feelings offer you? And then I immediately was like, what do you mean? Are you saying I am bringing these feelings on? And immediately that shift went, yes and yes, you are. You are in control. You are starting to remember that your power. It's okay. Don't judge yourself, because this is what you know for now. And as you move more towards who you truly are, the less often these feelings will appear, as they will serve no value. And then I asked, can I just quit my job and just create? And then the shift, yes. But will that cause you more anxiety and doubt? And is it worth it when you can create while you have an income that you have control over at work? Listen, now I know some don't get it. Some don't get it. And to some, it's going to be like, get right. And that, I ain't lying. I've been doing this for a little while, so now I'm a little bit more comfortable with speaking about it. But in the beginning, and still sometimes during, when I'm scripting, at first I was like, this is crazy. This is me talking to me, and I'm making this up. But if you know, I won't even say if you know, I know that there's a different feeling there's a difference between the voices. Does that make sense? There's a difference between me writing, asking the question, and the thought is so subtle it comes in your head. It's like, when we say the thought came to me, well, where's it coming from? Right? So wherever that is for you, I'm just trying to make a point that there is a difference that you can feel, a subtle difference for me when it comes to scripting. Some people use meditation where they can sit for whatever amount of time and hear that message. For others, I can do it now without scripting, although scripting is a great way to see it on paper. But sometimes, most times, the answers are coming to me faster than I can write. So a lot of times my scripting is really just so that I can see and read back for myself. But if I'm walking in nature, or if I'm just out walking on the trail and I ask the question, that next thought or that shift explains or provides the answer to me, or at least a conversation to help me sort it through. And that's what that's what I've been feeling today about being afraid to call in because I might be fired, and that reassuring voice that says you are going to be okay, whether it be this job or the next, and you are in control. You are the creator of your reality. So create that reality that it's okay. Um Now again, I feel like this is going to be scrutinized and judged, and a part of me is thinking I'm not even going to put this out. But another part of me is saying, you know what? My channel is about trusting your process and showing you how I go through life, navigating it and trusting my process. So if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, that's great too. That is great too. I just wanted to come on with this because I believe that it's more about the documentation as opposed to the creation of content. And when I think about documenting it, I can get more out. When I think about creating it, then I got to look the perfect part. I got to put my lashes on. I got my hair got to be done. And that's just not genuine for me. For me. Okay. If others can do it, rock on. I'm hoping that this or something in it resonated with you today. And if it has, please let me know in the comments. Don't come for me because you already know. This is a safe space. And if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it. That's all I got to say. But nothing has changed. Until next time, remember who loves you.